If today is your first time seeing a DuePoint introduction presentation, then it's always our objective to give you just a clear understanding of who DuePoint is, why we're not the same as what you've seen before, and why it'll be worth your while to spend an hour or two working through the materials we have available to you. Now, every now and then we chat to all of our already signed up wealth engineers and we tell them how we're doing. And this morning I thought it a good opportunity for us to do it again. I took the first 10 days of April. Those are 10 days in the middle of now what has been extended to a 5-week lockdown. And I asked myself the question, what have wealth engineers been doing in those 10 days? Have their hours at home been wasted, or have they converted it into real lifetime sustainable wealth? Now, this is a good question to ask because it answers a question you might have. You see, the question you might have is, does this thing really work? Does anybody actually ever achieve anything in these things? Well, looking at the numbers is the best way to answer that question at DuePoint. Having done it now for half a decade, we know the answer. But today, hopefully, I can give you the answer. So, looking at the first 10 days of April, what have you guys been doing as wealth engineers? Well, from a macro level, when I ran the report today, I see that another 576 new people have joined DuePoint just in the last 10 days. Now let's understand that again. This is during lockdown. This is during a period where we cannot interact with each other. We have more than social distancing, we have social separation altogether. And yet, somehow, with modern technology and the DuePoint tool, 576 new people have joined DuePoint in just the first 10 days of April. What about those that are returning? Because you see, that is a key indicator. In most other businesses I've heard of, you find people who say, I will never go back there. I lost thousands. It was a scheme, a scam, a this or that, and I got burnt and I lost my savings, etc., etc. But when you have a business where people return, you know you never did them any harm. You never took their money from them. You never put them in a bad economic position. You never burnt them. And so for us, a very crucial indicator of how we are succeeding is in how many people are returning to us. And if I look at the reports, it tells me that in the first 10 days of April during lockdown, 31 people returned to DuePoint. 31. That's 3 a day. In fact, it's slightly more than 3 a day. That means one person every 8 hours has been returning to DuePoint of these 10 days of April. I don't know if you're starting yet to understand what is actually happening at DuePoint. This is a phenomenon that is starting to spread across the country, and it is going to be difficult to stop once people truly appreciate what's going on. Now that's the macro level. Let's take a look at the micro level. Let's look at it from an individual level, because you might be saying, yeah, well, that's great, but there's maybe only 1 or 2 people that are doing anything. Only 1 or 2 people earning. Now that is often the case in many other businesses. There are 1 or 2 figureheads. One of the things you'll discover at DuePoint is that we have tens of thousands of wealth engineers that work for us, and we're always showing new people succeeding. And so looking at an individual level is very important. Having looked at the first 10 days, I pulled the numbers. What do the numbers tell us? Well, I can see immediately that there are already 2 people in DuePoint that have added 16 people to their channels in the first 10 days of DuePoint. Now, I've often said, of April, sorry. I've often said, can you get to the point where you just add 1 person a day? That means they should be on 10. But we have 2 people that have nearly added 2 people a day. 16 in the first 10 days. What have you been doing with your time? Have you connected your first person to DuePoint yet? Others have been connecting at an incredible rate. I can see that there's Patrick and Pumi. You guys have added 14 people in the first 10 days. I've got Philip Faree who's added 11, so he's certainly adding his 1 person a day. And then I see Karen van Skalkwyk is on 10. So there's 4 people already that are connecting at, on average, 1 person a day. The numbers are all the way, I can see that 3/4 of the way down my page, I've still got people who have added 5 people already. That's 1 every 2 days in this lockdown period. I have to move beyond the first screen to people that are doing less than 1 person every 2 days. And if I jump all the way to the bottom and I see, well, how many people have added anybody in the last 10 days? I see that 227 South Africans. 227 South Africans have added somebody new to their channel in just the first 10 days of April? If you're thinking to yourself, I can't do this, everybody keeps saying no, everybody keeps giving me an excuse, you need to ask yourself, how come everybody else is achieving? There's 227 people that managed to find somebody that would connect. And so I refer back to what I always say. You might not have had a successful first 10 days of April. You might not have had a successful first 4 months of 2020. But it's not about the person who said no to you. It's about those people that will say yes. We're in economic crisis. We were in it before the lockdown. Cyril Ramaphosa told us at the end of last year that South Africa is in economic crisis. You can go and find it on YouTube where he tells the press this. What are we in today? We cannot allow ourselves to be overwhelmed with a sense that nobody out there will say yes. Nearly 600 people have said yes and signed up in the first 10 days of April. Keep connecting, keep asking, keep telling, and you will find the people who say yes. Today may be another opportunity for you. Get that introduction out, go back to our YouTube channel, dust it off, and connect another person to an introduction presentation at DuePoint. And who knows, today might be your yes day.